everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Oh my god, guys, I am so glad to be back. Yeah, a lot has been happening that has really kept me away from being active on my channel, but I'm back. I'll try be consistent and post regularly. As you can tell by the title of this video, guys, I'll be sharing with you my birth story in a public hospital. I hope you'll stay tuned and listen to my story. But before we get into the story, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe and join my beautiful family. Thank you so much to all the people that have subscribed to my channel. I hope you'll be, spreading the word, let your family members join as well, guys, so that my channel grows. But without rambling too much, let's just get into the story. Okay, as I've shared throughout my channel, I found out I was pregnant early 2021 in April, and I was very delighted, even though it wasn't the movie like moment, if I want to put it, movie like moment, but I was very happy about it, and I started embracing that I'm actually going to be a mother. Okay, so on the 22nd? I think it was the 22nd or the 20th of November, I went for my last clinic visit. And when I went there, they did all the checks and they did everything. And the lady actually said, so you're about to leave us, but if it happens that you don't go into labor by your due date, then you have to come back to the clinic and actually we'll write you a letter so that you can go get induced. Baby girl gets home and I tell my mom, Ma, this is my last visit to the clinic. I am not going back there. I need to give birth this week. Okay, fine. My mom's like, okay, keep praying. Just pray, and don't stress. Everything will happen on its own. I was like, okay, cool. So on the 25th, if I'm not mistaken, the 25th, which was on a Thursday, I started experiencing cramps. The cramps weren't bad. They were very bearable. And as I'd read or did my research or watched people's YouTube videos, people were really dreading the whole idea of staying in hospital for too long. So they would actually wait it out till it got not intense, but they could see it's okay, things are about to happen. So baby girl just decided, I'm just going to follow that cue. So then I stuck it out Thursday and Friday came. So the pains that I had on Friday weren't the same as the ones that I had on Thursday. They were a bit more intense than Thursday's pains. Okay, I experienced the cramps. I'm just going through the motion. The pain is so bad that when it hits you, you stop everything that you're doing. You will stop. If you're washing the dishes, you will stop and actually just pain, man, and just tell yourself what's happening. Yeah, let it happen. And then when it's okay, then now you can continue. Okay, cool. So Friday goes by, I'm experiencing this pain and things are just hectic. Later that day, I go to the bathroom because my pain was intensifying, and also like I was peeing constantly. I was constantly going to the bathroom. While I'm in the bathroom, guys, TMI, if you're very sensitive, I'm sorry. So I go to the bathroom, and while I'm in the bathroom, something just drops. And I'm like, what's happening? Out of curiosity, I look down the toilet seats and I see like this huge mucus jelly-like bulb in the toilet. And I'm like, okay, I've read about this. This is my mucus plug. It just dropped, meaning things are happening. I'm going into labor. Okay, sharp. Now I'm getting excited because I know it's close. Okay, cool. How? You know how when you read books, it's like, yo, your water will break and all that. Nothing. No water broke. Okay, fine. I stick it out, guys. I stick it out. I tell my mom, though, okay, this is what happened. I went to the bathroom and this is what I saw. My mom's like, okay, we're getting there. She's not panicking. She's very relaxed. Okay, cool. Friday night goes by and I wake up Saturday and it's the 27th. Now this is my due date. I sit, I'm doing my chores, I'm going about life as normal as possible. My pains just keep coming and going. So guys, I had a pregnancy app on my phone which would help me track my progress or how far along I am in my pregnancy. So it also has a function in it that has a contraction tracker. So then I use that to actually see how far apart my contractions are. And guys, they were like 10 minutes, 11 minutes apart. And I'm thinking, "Ay, baby girl, you are very far, you know?" But as the day went by, my pains just kept intensifying. Like, it got so bad. I couldn't even sleep. I couldn't even catch a wink of sleep. So I tell my mom, this is around 10 in the morning. So I tell my mom, if this keeps going on, then later on, like, I would like to leave. So I'd already packed my bags. Everything was ready. Like, okay, cool. Hey, the day goes by. The pains just keep hitting me, and I'm just feeling very tired. But in the back of my head, I have this thing that, no, I don't want to be sitting in a hospital for too long. So then I call my boyfriend and I tell my boyfriend, listen, this is what is happening and my pain is intensifying. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna come holler at you like in a few. He comes, he sees me, he's like, "Hey, you don't look like you're in pain." I'm like, I am in pain, but there's just that the pain keeps coming and going and I can handle it. Okay, so while he's sitting on the couch, it hits me and I quickly grab hold of his knees and I just squeeze because it was so bad, you know? And he's like, no, I think we should go because I thought you were not in pain. But if this is what's happening when you go into pain, girl, we need to go. And he's like, okay, let me just sort a few things out transport-wise and then I'll come back. Like, okay, cool. So then 2 o'clock goes by. At around 4, my mom, my boyfriend, and a friend of ours accompany me to the facility that I was booked at. So I was booked at a local clinic. So they take my bags, we get into the car, and we leave. We head to the clinic. We get to the clinic, they sign me in. So when you get into the clinic, they need to sign you in and they need to check. You need to give them your booklet that you've been using for all the visits during your pregnancy. So I get there, find the ladies. They were very nice, by the way. Get there, find the ladies, and the lady's like, okay, get on the bed. Let me just check if you're dilating. So I get on the bed. She sticks her fingers in, you know, she checks, but she doesn't say anything. So I'm like, okay, is that how it's supposed to happen? But then I don't ask, I don't say anything, and I'm just chilled about it. And then after the checks, because they checked my blood pressure and everything, and they're like, no, you're in active labor. So they asked me, are your family members still around? I'm like, yeah. They're like, do you have any food, water, some fluids, just to like keep you hydrated? And obviously, because they don't provide food, they did mention they don't provide food for me, so I need to get my own food. So I go out, I tell my boyfriend that, listen, I'm being told that the clinic doesn't provide food, so you guys need to get me food. They leave, they get my food, and then they come back. So now this is them leaving me. Bang, shia. Okay, cool. The ladies are like, okay, take your bags and just walk into the rooms and pick a room, pick a bed, and just sit up there. I take my stuff, I go pick a room. I find a few ladies there. I greet, I get to my bed, and I put my stuff there. So guys, the pain, yo, it's bad. People shouldn't lie to you and tell you, see, going into labor is like getting a period pain. There's no period pain that feels like that. No. It's a lie. It's a lie. Yo, people are lying to us in these videos. Okay, fine. I set up. It was raining that day, so I had like a cardigan, a very long cardigan, and I had a fleece blanket and all of that. Guys, the pain was so bad I couldn't even sit on the bed. So what I did is I took the fleece blanket and I put it on the stepping stool that's near the bed. I put it there and I sat. But when you're sitting, it just feels like the pain's just getting worse. So I would stand up and just walk. So this one lady, I think she's a cleaner at the clinic, she's like, ladies, one thing I'm going to tip you about, when you are in labor, the more you sit, the more you delay the process of labor. You need to walk so that you help your baby like go down. I'm like, okay, cool. I stand up, I start walking the corridor. The corridor is very short inside the maternity ward, but it, like, on the outside of it, it's quite long. So I walk, and the pain just keeps intensifying. So the ladies that I found there, because I got to the clinic at around 4:30, were about to knock off at 6. So 6 o'clock comes, they leave for their shift, and another shift of nurses comes in. Okay, cool. They come in, so they need to do their checks as well. So they call us in the order that we came in, and they're like, we need to check you. So again, the drill, fingers, BP, and they give you a pad. They give you this big maternity pad. You're not allowed to wear your underwear. You need to take it off when you get there. So they give you this huge pad, and you just need to stick it down there and hold it with your thighs. Okay. And keep it in place with your thighs, sorry. So then the day is going by, but the pain is just intensifying, guys. It's intensifying to a point that I can't even sit still anymore. So I'm constantly walking. And this nurse comes to me, she's like, Sisi, you can't keep walking around like that, and you're gonna give us trouble when you're supposed to push. And I'm like, this pain is so bad, I can't sit down. Okay, cool. Baby girl goes back to a station, and I continue what I'm doing. Now it's night time. I need to sleep. I'm tired. I've been up since 6. I haven't slept. So I'm trying to sleep. Guys, you could sleep on any side, but the pain was just so bad. Okay, cool. Lady comes, she does her rounds. She finds me like standing. She's frustrated. She's shouting at me. She's full of attitude. So, when you read or you go through all these YouTube videos, people will tell you, no, you must be on your best behavior so that these people can help you and they don't give you attitude. I tried to keep my cool for this lady, but she was just giving me smack throughout. Okay, she keeps saying, lala on left, sleep on your left, you'll feel better. Hey guys, whatever she was telling me wasn't making anything better. I was in pain. Okay, cool. I'm sitting there. At some point, I call my boyfriend and I'm just crying. Guys, the pain. I tell him, good to know, I can't do this anymore. I'm tired. I'm in so much pain. And he's like, no, like, just calm down. Stop stressing. Because I believe the more you stress, it's the more you're just making things worse. Just calm down. I know that you're alone, but you're going to be okay. 9 o'clock comes. We're doing a next check. Doing the check, I go in there, sit on the bed. They do the whole thing again. So I asked the lady, how far along am I? How far dilated am I? And she's like, no, I can't tell you. I'm like, you can't tell me? Why? Like, I need to know. She's like, no, if I tell you, you'll be stressed. I'm like, I'll be stressed. How? Yeah, if you're not making progress, this will stress you out. So I'm just not allowed to tell you. And I was like, okay, cool. I let it go. I go back to my bed and I just chill out. Hey guys, hey, I'll say it again. Don't let people tell you ukuthi going into labor or being in active labor is like a period pain. I went to the bathroom constantly. I want to pee. I feel like I want to do the number 2. Things were bad. Okay, cool. The lady's just shouting at me, you can't keep going to the bathroom so many times. When are you going to give birth in the bathroom? In my head, I'm thinking, like, this lady, does she understand? I need to pee. I want to pee. Like, I have this urge to pee. And here she is giving me smack and giving me attitude. Ooh, I can't deal. Okay, cool. So when they keep doing these checks, like, I keep bleeding. But it's not like hectically, but I just keep bleeding. And eventually, after one of the checks, I go back to my bed and I just decide to sit and my water breaks. Now, like, the pain is intensifying. Guys, I was even praying, being tandaza, like asking God to just please, like, help me through this pain. Okay, cool. Now it's midnight. Baby girl, I can't catch any sleep. I'm just walking around the hospital to a point that the pain got so intense that I actually called the nurse and I said, I am in so much pain, I can't do this. She's like, did your water break? I'm like, yes, my water broke. She still didn't pay attention to me. Okay, cool. Eventually, again, after like an hour, I go back and I'm like, Sissy, I'm in so much pain. She's like, no, because I can see that you've been walking around all this time and I don't understand why you're walking around so much. Waza, let me put a drip on you. So I sit and she inserts a drip. Oh, so painful. One thing about me, I've had a struggle. My veins aren't very visible. So every time I'd go to a clinic or to a doctor, they'd struggle to find a vein on me and I'd come back with bruises on my hand because they're trying to find a vein. So the same situation happened there. Okay, cool. Hi, she gets me the drip and I asked her, what's the drip for? She's like, no, to just keep, like, give you energy, you know, because like, I'm like, okay, cool. Fine. Morning comes, guys. These people abandonagi. Because I'm going through so much pain and I just keep constantly going back to the lady and telling her, no, I'm in so much pain. I can't do this. Like, it's too painful. Hi, guys. I threw a fit. 6 o'clock in the morning, I tell the nurses from the last shift, the ones that I found there, you know what, I can't do this anymore. Can you transfer me to another place? Because I'm in so much pain and I feel like nobody is actually paying attention to me. I'm frustrated. I'm tired. I can't eat. Because like so then the lady's like, no, please calm down, we can't take you anywhere because there's no complications with your pregnancy. I'm like, Sissy, I want to leave. I want to leave this place because like I'm not happy. And the lady's just trying to convince me, but I just didn't want to know, guys. I just wanted to leave that place. So eventually she says, okay, let me call an ambulance and find out if there are any ambulances available and maybe we can move it to another place. Okay, cool. She calls the ambulance and they're like, okay, there's only one ambulance, so it's gonna take time to get there. This is Sunday, the 28th. Okay, cool. Maybe after like a few minutes, there comes in a 19-year-old girl. What was the issue? Oh, she's 19 years old and she suffers from asthma. So her case was more serious and she's pregnant. So she called the ambulance again to say, listen, I've got an emergency patient here. She's 19 years old, she's asthmatic and she's pregnant. So like, okay, we'll try to get there as fast as we can. Okay, cool. Luckily at around 8, I see the paramedics walk in because guys, I've been parading the whole corridor because I can't sit still. Their pain is just so bad. Okay, cool. They fill in the paperwork, they do everything. She calls us back in to say, guys, let me check you before you leave. Got into the bed, she checks me, she's like, you're 5 centimeters dilated. I'm like, oh, thank God. Now I know I have 5 more centimeters to go. Okay, cool. Hi. We wait for them to fill out the paperwork. Eventually they call us out to say, guys, wear your bags, let's carry your bags for you, let's go to the ambulance. We walk out, guys. When I get into the ambulance, my pain goes away. I'm like, how? Okay, so we're driving. So they were taking us to one of the hospitals closest to the clinic, one of Soweto's biggest hospitals. If you know, you know. I'm not going to be calling out any names. I don't want to be getting in trouble. So when we get into the ambulance, it leaves the facility. But when we get to the robot, the lady's like, no, we're not going there anymore. We're going to the other one. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So now I'm calling my family to let them know that I'm moving from that clinic to a hospital. Okay. We drive to the hospital. We get there and my pain starts. And the driver says, you know what, Sissy, with you, we're not going to get anywhere quickly. So you need to just get on the wheelchair, put your bag on your lap, and then I'll push you. Okay, he pushes me. We get to the maternity ward of the hospital. When I get there, my pain intensifies. So guys, I met by this amazing lady by the name of Brenda. Shout out to you, Sissy, you are amazing. I met by a beautiful lady by the name of Brenda, and she's like, how, Sissy, you don't look like you're in pain. I'm like, Sissy, I'm in so much pain, you don't know. She's like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna ask you a few questions before we do this. Sit down. I sit down. She's like, were you tested at your previous at the previous facility? I'm like, no. She's like, why? They need to test you and all that. She's like, okay, I'm just gonna do a quick test on you, an HIV test. So she administers the test, and then she's like, okay, just come in here and let me check you. She checks me, guys. I'm 8 centimeters dilated. You can understand when you're that far how intense the pain is. Okay, cool. She says, you know what, we're not even going to take you to the bed section where you're going to wait out. When you need to go and give birth? Now. But before we do that, we need to sign you in, like write your details, register you into the hospital system. Guys, I felt like that process was so tedious and it took so long because I was in so much pain. Okay, eventually we finish. They ask for emergency contact and all that, and she's like, let's go, it's time. Get into the labor room. She asked me to take off all my clothes. I do. She asked me to lay on the bed, and she's like, you know what, because you're 8 centimeters, I'm just gonna fast track your process because you've been in pain for so long and your due date was yesterday. So the 27th, on that particular date was the 28th. So she's like, okay, I'm just going to fast track it. So she's going to induce me. Let me say, first things first, just inserting that drip to be induced, it burned like hell. Angazi ngizinto eshisa kanje esikhumbeni. She injects me. I sit there and the pain sends you, I don't know, you feel like you're seeing heaven. I was grabbing onto the bed. She's like, yes, girl, it's working. And the next thing she says to me is like, you know what, girl, when you feel a contraction, push. I was like, okay, cool. I've seen this. I'm going to do this. So I needed to put my knees on my chest, put my chin on my chest, and push. So while I was pushing, my baby kept moving from like one side to the next, and she's like, no, this baby is playing games on us, you know. When she checked me the last time, she'd found that my baby has something called a caput. A caput is a little bump. So my baby had been trying to push all along because I'd been in labor, and from my previous facility, so my baby was ready to come to the world. So my baby had a bump on the head, which in most cases, they say it's full of fluids. So now my baby's got a bump on his head. He can't come out properly. So she needs to cut me. So it's called an episiotomy. So she needs to cut me while I'm in active labor and I'm pushing. So she says, okay, stop pushing. Let me cut you. There's no injection, guys. No injection. So she cuts. I can hear it. You know, you hear it. It's like when a scissor hits paper. There's that sound. She cuts the first time. She's like, okay, Sissy, push. I push. And my son is just playing games. He's jumping from one side to the next. It's like, okay, I need to cut again. She cuts again. And she says, push. And I push. And she's like, I can see that you're pushing, but your baby is just not budging. So she calls in 2 nurses to come in. The nurses come in and she's like, okay, we're going to help this lady. When she pushes, each one of you needs to push from each side. So the other one was on my left and the other one was on my right. So when I push, they need to push the baby as well. So she's like, give it one last big push, and I'm telling you, I can see your baby's head. I push, the ladies push, and poof, my baby comes out. The relief, guys, the relief. It's like when you've been constipated and you do the number 2 and just that relief. And my tummy just went flat. Okay, cool. I see my baby boy, the most beautiful baby, a head full of hair, and I see the bump, and I just became sad instantly. And the lady's like, okay, don't worry, it's nothing hectic. let's just get him on the bed and then we'll ask a doctor to check if it's not a hemorrhage, it's just a normal kaput. So the doctor comes in, he checks my baby, he says, no, sissy, it's nothing big. It's just a kaput. He just has fluid in his head. It'll go away on its own. So now the lady cleans me up. She cleans me up and she's like, okay, you just need to wait a bit. My placenta was still stuck. Guys, now they need to take that out. So she puts her whole hand inside. She tries to pull it a bit, tug on it a bit, and it wouldn't budge. So one lady's like, no, I've got an idea of how I'm going to help this lady. She takes like a little tube, she inserts it into my clit, and it releases fluid, and out went everything. So she keeps going in with her hand. The most painful other process that is painful, it's that. So she keeps going in with her hand just to remove everything, and she's like, okay, I'm still going to remove some clots out of you because you haven't been going your period, you've been pregnant, so we need to clean you out so that you don't experience any pain after we stitch you up. Like, okay, cool. She removes everything, and she starts to stitch. So they inject you. To stitch you, they have to inject you. So she injected me a few times. I couldn't feel it. She was talking to me. We were having a conversation. So it was pleasant at the end. She stitched me up. It took long though, because my stitch was quite long, because my episiotomy, my cut was very long itself. She stitches me up. After stitching me up, she tells me to stand up. She just wants to see if I'm okay, if I'm not dizzy or anything. I stand up. She's like, okay, just don't touch or grab on anything. Just stand straight and all is good. So I stood up straight and all was good. And then, yeah, man, I was cleaned up. I was given food. I ate and all went. So she, they give me food and just check if I'm okay. And then they wrap my baby up for me and they put him in those little baby cots, and I was wheeled to the maternity ward where I would be spending the night. So I gave birth at 10:50 to be exact, and my baby weighed 2.9. He was so tiny, guys. He was so tiny. And yeah, he's healthy, beautiful, and just a bliss to be with. I'm enjoying my journey, even though I was struck by tragedy. And yeah, man, motherhood is the best. I couldn't have had it any other way. And yeah, man, not every place you'll go to will treat you badly, or not every place you'll go to will give you the worst service. I'm just going to say shout out to the nurses at my second facility, Begi Mlangeni. I'll say the name because they did me good. And I was discharged on Monday. I got to take my baby home. And yeah, that's just all that has happened. So thank you so much, guys. And see you in my next video.